Hey, Pussynet. So, Big Brother is now solar. Yay! So I finally got my 30 watts panel. And in the last weeks or so, and you'll see a little bit of video. So how I set it up, as you can see on this picture. So my building, I mentioned before, I'm kind of in a corner unit, and this whole side over here where the window is facing, I'm facing east west. And so basically I'm getting, as soon as the sun gets out to the sun goes down, I'm being hit by the sun. And like I mentioned before, one of my concerns that I have with solar is living here, especially like right now being the winter. It's we get a lot of rain. There's this weather movement that comes from Alaska called the Pineapple Express, and when that hits, you go for like 5 or 6 days of like pouring rain with nothing else. So if the grid would goes down, how would I maintain and stuff? So what I did in the last week and so, well actually even more, almost 2 weeks now, I wanted to see how the system would work. So what I did, and again, work without me being involved all the time and everything. So far the first test I did is that what I did is I left the panel just facing the east-west window. So without even like moving it, trying to be as adventurous that I would like to and stuff. And once in a while, you know, every time I would come during the day and things like that, every time I would pass in front, I would look at what the meter would say. And actually it was a pretty decent test, because in the first week we got lucky, we got a lot of sun, and I saw how much sun hits the battery. So there's no load on the battery because I'm waiting for that to come from eBay. So I'll be putting a load and try assessing the battery and how it's looking and stuff, because I don't want to use the radio and leave it open and say if something happens and I'm not here. But if I put a load on there and see how it works. And so the battery is at it was between, with the sun during the high peaks like at noon and stuff, would be around 13.4 13.3. I think the highest was like 13.4 when it was very sunny, like blue sky and everything. And recently, the last 5 or 6 days, we got a little bit more rain and cloudy like it is right today. And the rain part was quite interesting because the battery, so I don't have the battery plug beside the solar. So the solar system, as you can see on this picture here, is that it's connected through a power pole. And how the battery system works is that so it's a dual system for solar and wind. And so the switch, not the switch, but the metal part here, I forgot the name and I'll put it down, the relay, there we go. The relay has two connections, and some are on the side, some in the front. So the solar panel is connected to the front, and the electricity can kind of go directly through it, and then it goes to the system. And then when you entered your so if it goes above 14 volt, it shuts down the system, and below a certain nothing to it re-engage the system. The wind relay works on the side, and it works a little bit the same thing, but it's more mechanical. So when it goes, it switches the relay, and then instead of just stopping to feed the electricity of the panel inside the battery, it switched it to that blue resistor, not resistor, but capacitors in the back there, and so that it can dissipate the heat and the electricity that the wind could be producing. So that's how the system works. On the little video here, you can kind of see the system working. So right now it is plugged on the panel, so that's what you're seeing with the voltage. And right, the little switch there, I tried it. If it's it goes at 60 volts, and so if it's clogged out, the power doesn't go through. I plug it to my radio and I reset it, and it didn't work. And then it's a resetting one, so I place. So if there was a short for whatever reason, I fix it. I fix the problem, and I can relay it, and then the electricity. And then on the side, there's with a little switch, I can plug. I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 volts that be connected. In the front of the panel, there's this is why this is where the system is connected, and I did a kind of video explaining a little bit more, but just to recap. So on the battery itself, because it's kind of under that piece of wood and stuff, that I didn't want to go in and out, so I put different connections. So I got my battery tender that is connected directly, and so basically when I put it on my charger, it's a special adapter that comes with the charge, so I cannot confuse that. There's nothing else that can go into that than the charger himself. So I got one connection like this that comes out, so I can plug in on my charger and maintain the AGM battery that is inside. I also have two power pole in the front. They have two purposes. One is that the way the system works for the solar and everything, the black, so the black connector, so the black power pole coming back from the sun, there's different connections, but basically the ground, one of them has to go back into by the battery directly. So what I did is I put those two power poles so that I can hook that system like that, and I put different color power pole outside so that I can it's a visual remind me that, you know, if I plug the solar, I need purple to purple, and I got pink, I think, to the wind. And so it makes me think, okay, yes, you have to do this like that. And I built like a small cable so that I can, if I want to play wind and solar together, I hook it up through that ground himself. And the other purpose of those two power poles outside is that if this whole system, let's say the battery would be at 10, I still need power for whatever reason. I know it's bad for the battery and stuff, but I'm in a dire situation. I need to do that call or whatever I need to do, and I need to access power. That the problem is the way everything is set up through the solar charger. The solar charger won't let me use electricity past a certain amount, and so the whole system is connected through this, and this is to protect, so the battery cannot dissipate the battery below a certain point, which is great for security. But if I need that extra power for whatever reason, having those two Anderson pole, they're connected straight to the battery, so they bypass this whole system. So not only that, it gives me this extra entrance so that I can play with the solar and everything, and so it makes the connection easier. But also, if I know that I'm playing, and this is a little bit like emergency, a little bit like when you run on E on your gas, you know you need gas, but you need to get to the gas station for whatever reason. That's what it is. So it's my E of my battery. I know that if I'm using this, I'm in below, and I'm gonna get some I may damage my battery if I use it too much, but if I need it, it's there. So that's why that connection is connected to that. And so far, like I said, with the 30 watts though, when it was raining, it dropped down to about 12.9. So the battery was maintained for the last 2 weeks. That's all I did, connected like this, not connected by this, no load. And so my next test will be low, because I just wanted to see if the solar panel works. Just leave it on its own and everything, just like if I would be in a real situation. And it works good. And yeah, when there's sun, it works pretty good. But yeah, the last few days when it was raining, it would tilt her to 12.9, 13. So that means I would have trouble when there's a Pineapple Express to recharge some of the batteries with solar. Where that's why I wanted to get the wind and maybe work on the system where water could be accessed. Because like when we get water, like when it rains, for example, in that Pineapple, that's a lot of water. And so if I could find a way to harness that, and this is why I'm working on the system. I bought a little generator, see if it works. So I'll be testing that pretty soon. But yeah, Big Brother went solar, and so the next step will be to work on the wind. I got a few ideas with that, so I'm the system is pretty much set up, so it's really more just tweaking, and then I'll work on that hydro. And so if I get this, that means water, wind, and solar will be my ways that I can generate the electricity for the Big Brother battery. Also, there's another battery pack that I'm gonna. It's kind of smaller brother, because the little brother number 1 is kind of dying. His AGM, because I've been playing a lot with it and stuff. I think I created a short in it, and the battery is not maintaining his electricity as well. So I mean, I've changed, but I think I have a great idea that may actually give me even more opening, be more versatile. So I'll do a video on that once I get again the stuff and everything. So anyway, I wanted to do a quick update on the Big Brother project. Soon I'm waiting for our package. When it comes, I'll be able to get out, play with the antennas that I have and everything, and so I'm looking forward to be able to play with that outside and see how portable it is. So talk to you soon.